We're going to be talking about breadwinners. I actually just learned what that was 5 minutes ago. Blue will definitely take the lead on this one. So
ain't from the streets.
I'm from the streets. It's a difference.
Alright, this is your boy Big Blue here, Big Blue 42. Co-host, yeah. We getting this thing rocking. And
is it me, man? Alright, look, I'm new to this, man. So it's Code by Duval, and I'm just here, vibing, trying to catch a vibe.
Alright, this is Matheus, another co-host. We do this once a week, so if you've been watching, you know our voices by now, and if you haven't, welcome to the podcast. We hope you're having a good time. To all the people out there in Roxy's Celebrity Land on Twitch, where she's making all that Twitch money and gonna help me get the diamond soon, welcome to you guys as well, I guess. But yeah.
Alright, rocks.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Roxy, I guess, since we're using code names. I was invited to I was about to call it a stream, podcast. So there's a female voice.
Oh, yeah. We have grills here.
Because I heard you guys talked one time about makeup, and yeah, I wasn't there, so...
Yeah, it would have been nice if she was here.
Yeah, we need a follow-up to that one, seriously.
She said, so much in just 2 sentences, and I was like, man, grief.
And last but certainly not least, I am Mr. TJ. I get all these people together so we can talk stuff. But anyway, today's topic, again, just to reiterate, I know that took forever, is breadwinners. And, yeah, Mr. Blue, would you like to start us off?
Alright, so here we go. I was just sitting here chilling, making some spaghetti in my house, and then spaghetti for, the less informed. And somebody that was close to me came up and asked me a question. She was telling me, if my girlfriend were to make more money than I do, how would I react to that? And I said, well, ma'am, for one, I will make sure that does not happen. And 2, even if it does, I don't think I will be too upset for a certain amount of reasons. One, it could just be that I'm being inconvenienced, or maybe as if right now I'm trying my damn hardest to get to where I want to be, and some things take longer than other things. But as long as I'm continuously trying, even if she does manage to get some crazy job that gets her I don't know, $70K a year or whatever, I'd be like, dang, that's what's up. Well, I guess you're paying for the wedding or something. But I mean, I was telling her, yes, it would bother me, and I could understand why for some guys it would be annoying and it's something that they don't want to think about all the time. But at the same time, it's where's your strive at? Where's your goals? Where are you trying to be at? Because I understand for some people, in some situations, if the woman is the breadmaker or breadwinner, sorry, and her husband or her boyfriend or whatever is just like my cousin likes to say, sit down and play video games all day. She still bothers me every time when she says that, because she knows I'm not part of that. But anyways, in cases like that, it's understandable. It makes sense for a female to be upset or feel some type of way, or even if the guy is upset, then you don't have a reason to be upset, because you're putting yourself you're literally doing absolutely nothing to progress yourself, to promote growth, to get to that spot where you're making the most money. As long as you're actually doing something in a relationship, then I feel like that's what matters most. She, my cousin, was all right with, she understood what I was saying, and she said that it made sense, but then my mother said otherwise. That's when it became really annoying, because then my mother was bringing up how you need to, the man needs to have respect for himself and his wife, and he should try he needs to make sure that he makes the most money, and if he doesn't make the money, then he ain't doing squat with his life. And I was like, whoa, let's not go there. I will leave this house. Of course, I will come back, but just know that you would piss me off. But yeah, just that thought, and like their relationship is just absolutely fine. And I know her husband has been having some issues. Well, as far as like trying to find the right job, I mean, he was working with this one place, and then he didn't like the job because, like we were talking before, they didn't want to promote him after all the work that he was doing. So he left and worked somewhere else. And, now he's realizing that even if he does get moved up in that job, he still won't be making as much as he was in the position that he was in beforehand. So I guess with all that trying to, keep the money coming in the household, it bothered him that he's still like juggling around trying to figure out the best way to do this while she seems to have everything under control and whatnot. And I feel like that's a lot of case with a lot of people, and it like the reasoning for feeling this way varies from person to person. And I just want to know what everybody else thinks. Starting with Duval.
Hey, we got some special guests.
Starting with me. I don't know. Like, well, what about like? I guess it depends, because like if you look at like Tom Brady, isn't he married to Giselle Boots?
Yeah,
or whatever.
And
they did mention that.
Makes double his salary.
Yeah, they did mention that before somewhere. I don't know where.
Yeah, like so. I guess for me in that situation, I guess it's more of like, if I'm talking or dating somebody, then isn't it? I feel like it's more kind of selfish to not have them strive to be the best that they are in their respective career, regardless of like if I want to feel, more masculine or more in control because I make more than, the person I'm talking to. So,
yeah. I mean, in that Tom Brady case though, like, are they really in like a breadwinner situation though? Because I mean,
what's a breadwinner? All right, so can we define what a breadwinner
situation is? Yeah, like in my opinion, breadwinner literally means the person who's making enough money to keep things going. So like if you have, I guess, a typical situation where it's a husband and wife, if the wife is working a job and she's not making a lot of money for whatever reason, discrimination, sexism, whatever the case may be, and the husband is making like enough money that he's the primary reason, like the lights are on, bills are paid, food is on the table, because I think breadwinner comes from the like idea of putting food on the table, hence you're like earning bread with your money. I think that's the case, but I feel like in Tom Brady and his wife's situation, there's no real breadwinner because they can buy the bread factory. And like at that point, do you really need a breadwinner? Or
so you're saying like it's like the dude has to make enough money to maintain that quality of life that they're living.
Yeah, right. Well, at least in my opinion. I mean, because like in the case with Tom Brady and his wife Giselle, or with a lot of like celebrity couples, I feel like the concept of breadwinner kind of gets phased out because there's so much money like available. Well, at least in my opinion, it was. I mean, you never know. I'm sure some celebrity couples or whoever start arguing over money, like, well, you made $50 million last year and I made 75, and I don't like that. Like, if y'all want to argue over that, cool, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm not a proponent of just like a dude mooching off of a female, like riding by her coattails, like just on her back.
Man.
But I feel like if both people are like really going at their career, and then like hers happens to like, just go up before you take off, then like for me, I wouldn't feel threatened or like, any kind of way about that, as long as we're all striving to do what we want to do. Now, if she was just an asshole about it, then maybe I feel some kind of way. But I don't think I'd be talking to somebody like that. But yeah.
I come home and the dishes ain't washed, the laundry ain't done,
trash ain't taken out.
Trash ain't taken out. I don't see no food on the table.
Come on,
bro. Yeah, that's an automatic breakup. I'm gonna take that last breadstick and walk up out the
house. Oh man! All right, what you think, Rox? What you got?
So I'm married, so I was the breadwinner when we first got married.
Dang, we got like the insider scoop. Let's go.
So, yeah, that was. It didn't really bother me, to be honest, when you're married, because you just want enough money to pay the bills, and pretty much as long as my husband keeps working and doesn't just be like, all right, you got this, honey, let's go. I'm gonna quit working and you got this. Yeah, as long as he doesn't do that, I'm fine with it. And even now, I work for a moving company, but I also sell software that my boss created, and
she making I know
so
you make that money.
Yeah, so next year I'm projected to be making quite a bit of money, so I'll probably be the breadwinner again.
So look at that! I got the best guest
here. Yeah, good job, Blue. And also on a low Roxy, so if you need somebody to work remote.
You guys said 60 to 70,000, and that's what I'm projecting to make.
Oh yeah.
So
very nice.
So I'm happy because the more vacations I could take, the better.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean my husband helps me around the house and stuff because he realizes that I do a lot of work. But yeah, as long as he does something because I do feel it's the man should provide for the family, but if I happen to make more money, I'm not going to reject it and be like, no, boss, sorry, I can't make more money than my husband.
So then, I guess I've got a question. Since you aren't married, gone beyond a step that everybody else in this podcast discussion is currently at. So what if there's a situation, because I personally know of a situation that happened in my family where an uncle of mine was the breadwinner, realized he hated his job and it was killing his soul slowly. So he decided to go back to school. Obviously, this killed his income, and his wife at the time became the primary breadwinner for the family, and it put a lot of stress on their relationship because I guess she wasn't used to being in that situation. But I mean, it's kind of, I guess it kind of what we're talking about. He was chasing his dreams. He was trying to be happy and eventually make more money. But
did he discuss it with her before he did it, or was he just up and all right, quitting this, starting school, sorry if you don't like it?
I mean, I hope he did. He told us about it a couple months before he did it, so I guess I hope he talked to his wife.
If she agreed to it, she can't really be mad at anybody but herself. But
sounds good.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Every situation is different. I can't speak for other married couples because not everybody's like me. So if I was in that situation, as long as the bills are getting paid, to be honest, I could care less, because eventually I would hope the goal after school is to get for the husband to get another job and be making more money and enjoy his job. So I would be for it. But that's just me. If she's got a problem with it, she's got to work that out. I don't know.
Yeah, there was a lot of backlash that came up in family discussions where it's well, no, it wasn't right of him to leave you in a situation where you have to take care of the family. And I mean, at the time I was 12 or 13, and I was just sitting there but I thought they were married and it was a team thing. And,
but at the same time, is he in a situation where he could get a little part-time job or something? That's something to factor into, or is he just being all right, I'm just doing school, I ain't working,
Yeah, I think he did full-time school for the first 2 years, and then he started doing part-time work. There was some arrangement they had supposedly worked out, and then
but he's working now.
He's graduated now. They actually ended up not staying together, so he's remarried now.
Oh wow!
Interesting.
Yeah, no, that as well as other things kind of pulled him apart.
Okay.
That was one of the bigger catalysts. And it was it was crazy to me because the whole time I was just I mean, I thought you guys were a team. And, it's cool if you make more money because the lights are still on and everybody can still play games, but just not. Crying shame.
I guess I want to add a little something.
What you got, TJ?
Honestly, bro, I think, especially when it comes to marriage, the way I was taught and brought up, I was always told that when you get married, it's no longer your and my money. It's our money. So, I think personally for me,
go ahead.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Personally, I think it's fine. I actually wouldn't mind it if like my partner or whatever made more money than me, and
I
kind
wouldn't
of
mind it either.
yeah. It's like I mean, and it's 2016. Maybe it's just a generational thing too. Maybe
it could be,
perhaps, but yeah, man, and especially with it being a whole relationship thing, I think obviously it's important to put your partner before yourself. Again, that could be different with anybody else. And honestly, I'm completely fine with that. As long as it's like, I'm not going to sit here and like just be lazy all the time and just make YouTube videos and not go out and work at the same time.
Hey man,
But
if you get in 500 million views and
that's a different story.
600,000 subs and shit.
Yeah, so I'm gonna need y'all to help me out with that. Until then, I wouldn't mind making money while she's making money as well to, just keep this house up and running and bills being paid and whatnot. That's completely fine with me. Like, I don't think, in my opinion, whether you got it like that or not, whether it's the man or woman just working their butts off and bringing in income, I still don't think the other person should be lazy. I think that other person needs to bring something to the table, whether it's like taking care of the kids, or like taking care of family members, or I don't know, working on like projects and stuff. Just don't be like just dead weight. Don't be dead weight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, make something happen in the meantime. And especially if you're not doing any of that, you better like cherish him or her. Like, you need to be cooking dinner, doing chores, lawn work, taking care of the kids, things like that. Especially if you're not working.
I've actually seen this. Obviously, I want to get everybody's opinion on this, but I'd be really curious to see what Roxy has to think of this, being a married woman, of course. So there's been how Facebook, like every once in a while, you'll notice like 3 of your friends will like share the same thing, and then you look up and it's like 6,000 people are like, oh my god, I thought this my whole life. It's like, when did this happen? One of those things has been that there's like a series of pictures going around where it's like, women, it's okay to let him be in charge, don't be afraid to sit at home, let him pamper you. It like you provide the kids and you take care of them, and that's like your role in life. And like, there are all these women and men who are all married, from what I know of them, all the ones that I've seen who have commented have been married, who are like, yes, absolutely, I think I agree with this 100%. And then there's like 1 or 2 people who's like, but does she still have a job? And of course they get like flamed down to hell, and they're just like, oh, get out of here, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't think there's any conflict with it, I guess, but also to me it came off as, find a husband who's willing to let you not work. Because I eventually plan to be in a situation where I have enough money in the bank where I don't have to work or something like that.
I want to add in something there when you're done, Joey.
Yeah, sure. Where I don't have to work, and where like family or whatever the case may be is provided for, and like we can, I guess, work at will. That'll be hard to accomplish, but what's life worth living without a little bit of hard work?
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's my goal, but I don't know. Like, what do you guys think of that?
So, like, in actuality, if we lived like back in the 50s,
get him, Roxy, get him.
Yeah, like, the guy should like be the provider, and the girl should just take care of the kids and stuff. But like, I don't have kids. I don't want kids right now.
At the same time, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off too much, but at the same time, everything was affordable back then. So one person in the family could afford and take care of the kids and feed everybody.
Pretty much. Like, our apartment, like, monthly is a 1-bedroom. It's like $1,000. Kind of ridiculous.
Ow, sounds about right.
And so cost of living is like rising like crazy, and to be able to afford, like, a single person to afford everything on their own with no help is nearly impossible nowadays, unless you live out in the middle of nowhere where, I don't know,
where you're like not paying taxes or something.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, that's not very realistic. And for any woman who thinks that, like, I'm appreciative because actually, like, when I decided to switch jobs and I was the breadwinner before, my husband did allow me like 3 or 4 months to like basically not do anything. But I didn't really like that. So that's me. But yeah. I don't know. Some people are still in that old-fashioned mindset, and they really shouldn't be. They need to like get with it.
Yeah, I think at the same time, especially, it depends on where you are in the relationship or whatever, but especially like dating and trying to figure one another out, I don't think either the man or woman should have like this princess setting to it or prince setting. Like you should, like as the guy or whatever. Since I am a guy, I actually dated this one girl who just wanted literally everything, and like she would give nothing in return. Like so I would take her out to dinner and stuff like that, buy her gifts, shoes, food, stuff like that. But she wasn't really putting in the work to kind of compliment that. You know what I'm saying? Especially since we're not married. So it's like, how the hell are we gonna be like a team and eventually, get married if you can't even help me out right now? I got your back like a sweater. Where's my support? So I don't think anyone should be like pampered, especially like super starting off or whatever. But when you guys, level up on the relationship status, then you guys will talk about it and maybe you can come to a consensus or something like that. I don't know. But
yeah, I mean,
starting
that's something
off,
I've always personally thought. Like you gotta be able to, you gotta set the precedent for what your relationship is going to look like early on in a relationship. Because I know a lot of people who are like dating right now, and the girl, like, she has a job but she's not contributing to the, kind of like what you were saying, TJ. Like, you're basically not holding up their half, and they're like, well, once we're married, things will change. I'm just like, but how? Like, you don't know how to do anything else.
Ain't
Right.
got no clue how it's going.
For real. I guess and one more thing when it comes to like starting off while dating or whatever, I think you both need to put in, like, you put in what you want back in return, at least for a set time or whatever.
Yeah. Or in my case, do what you can.
Yeah, definitely. That's important.
Well, I mean, you're dating Cinderella, so when she brings home like 3 hay pennies and like a mouse hat, you're like, okay, good job at work today. Like,
At least you tried.
yeah.
Participation trophy.
Right.
Oh man.
That's what's up.
But going back to what you were saying, Joey, about the whole the post thing, it, again, like Rocky said, that was like, we're in a whole different generation now, and it's freaking expensive to be paying everything by yourself, especially just a house by yourself, which is understandable. I don't think in that case, it's like I've set that goal for myself to be able to make enough to where my girlfriend doesn't, have to work or doesn't need to work. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to keep her from working if she wants to. If she has a specific goal, which she does, then I'm going to allow her to pursue that goal and whatnot. And I'm going to work with her in order to get there. But if I'm making the money and now, like, to just pay for everything like I usually am, like, I usually don't complain about money unless there's some ridiculous spending going on, or water price, or the water bill is too high because she decides to wash her hair and then blow dry her hair while the faucet and the sink and the tub is still running. Then we got a problem. But outside of that, like, that is a goal that I set for myself, but it's not something that I'm just like, yes, as soon as I get a job and I make enough money to pay for everything, I don't want you to work. No, you can still work. You still have your own goal. That's absolutely fine. You can do that. And with that being said, I'm pretty sure that she doesn't I'm pretty sure that she doesn't want to get to she doesn't want to be at that point where she's so dependent on me. I mean, I'm pretty sure she'll be all right with it, but again, she still has her own goals that she wants to maintain, and that's just one of those, communication and working together, and just getting that bond straight so that we can do what we want. But at the same time, if something happens and somebody can't do this, then we'll still be all right, as long as we're making the right decisions and not doing things like spending money on shoes or not Ferraris. Ferraris money can be spent on Ferraris.
Ferraris.
But yeah, that's just how I feel. And another thing, who was it that said that ridiculous thing that TJ? Yeah, TJ, yeah, the thing that you said where when you're in a relationship or when you're married, your like all finances are pretty much just one. Or
yeah, it's our money when you get married. That's what I was taught.
See, this is like in a lot of cases. And Roxy, I would like to get your opinion based off of what I'm saying, because I've had several females disagree with me, and Joey feels the same way as I do. But I mean, it just makes sense. Okay, so yes, the money is our money, but that's just for the bills. Because when it comes to the bills, those are our bills. Unless, yeah, for the most part, yeah, it's our bills. So whatever money is used to pay for our bills, then that's our money. But outside of that, your money is your money, and my money is my money.
Well, it definitely depends on the circumstance and the family or whatever. Because 9 times out of 10, from what I've experienced, the woman is actually like the financial advisor when it comes to like everything. Like what if the guy wants to buy like a motorcycle? She's gonna be like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like unless there's like some super descriptive reason on why he should be able to buy certain things, but again, it depends on the people, bro. But that's just what I've seen. So
what you think, Rox?
Yeah, I'm one of those people that thinks that our money is our money together. But then again, like my husband is very money savvy and he's the one that handles all the bills. I'm perfectly fine with that. So like as long as he doesn't like, if I want to go, I'm not one of those girls that spends money like crazy. Like I actually really hate shopping, but
beautiful.
Oh, what? Preach your gospel.
Are there more like you?
But like obviously there's necessities, and like once in a while, like I do like to go do girl things, like maybe get like a pedicure or once in a while, like I like to treat myself in some sort of way. So as long as he doesn't say no, you can't do that, I'm good. But he doesn't do that. Like he usually doesn't have any issues with me doing anything. But then again, I'm not a spender, so.
Well, yeah, that's a glorious thing, and at the same time, he's not gonna say no to that because you're trying to look good for him. You trying to look good and smell good for him. Like that's plus, seriously.
Yeah, but like for example, my boss, like his wife, the minute she gets money, she spends it. So he has to like give her allowances, otherwise she would spend. And he is the breadwinner, so he makes all the money.
That makes things.
Yes, so he like gives her an allowance every month so that they don't go broke, because they're pretty wealthy off right now. But if she had her way, I really don't know how it would be.
That'll turn real quick.
So it goes both ways. It depends on the situation again, but like if I don't know, it's also different. Like if the couple isn't married, because then it's not. But if they are married, technically, according to law, it is both money together. Like try arguing that in a court. And there you go.
Yeah, you're right. That shit ain't gonna fly.
Yeah, like there needs to be like a common agreement there. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, for example, like my husband and I, we have like one checking account, but we have like separate savings accounts. So, and like separate tax accounts. So
tax. Man, I don't know nothing about taxes.
I thought
no, taxes will kill you if you.
If you're self-employed and you don't keep track of your taxes, you're gonna be
you're gonna be a Trump. Yeah, okay. Except you just gotta find a way to get around it, but not getting there. Yeah. Okay, that's a fair statement, Rox. I appreciate all of your
input. And I think that's what Blue and I were mostly talking. I mean, thankfully, neither where our girlfriends are to kind of go money crazy, but we both know people who are dating people who do get like that, where it's like, oh, what, you just made $1,000? Well, I saw these $999 shoes I wanted. We're just like, hold up.
Hold up. Let me just say, any girl spending $999 on a pair of shoes needs a reality check. Okay, my max, I probably would not ever spend more than like $30 on a pair of shoes, and I don't even I don't even buy shoes hardly ever.
I wish I could spend $30 on a
I want to like slap some girl for that.